Well, so everyone who owns a pair of jeans knows the fun of wearing the denim. Well, the longer you wear it, the more personality it gets. But what happens when you rip or tear your favorite pair? Denim guru Cameron Niederhauser suggests you darn it. So what happens when you get a hole in your pants?
Absolutely. So when you've invested in a nice pair of jeans and you've worn them for a long time and you finally developed a hole, one thing that's beautiful about a darning machine is you can bring them into a place like my shop here in Kansas City called East and West, and what we can do is we can darn that jean and darn that hole closed. So
when we're talking about the hole, let's take a look at this because it's quite significant in an inopportune place.
Absolutely. So the three places most people get, as we call blowouts, are in kind of that seat area, or the crotch as we call it. The back pockets are pretty common, and then the knees. A lot of people blow out their knees. So that's where we do most of our work for sure. So you can see a nice little hole there just here in the leg. So what we'll do is we'll take that, throw it on the cylinder arm of our darning machine here, and we can actually just sew that hole closed.
So what is this stitch pattern we're working with now?
Yeah, so the way you start when you're doing a repair is you'll just kind of zigzag back and forth over this hole to close it up. We kind of frame out the repair to seal it. And then from there, we'll go back in and kind of fill in over the rest of it.
I really am amazed at what I'm seeing because the way it's weaving, you can tell that there was something that happened there, but it looks so much better than it did before.
So the beautiful part about darning repair is that since you're not using another fabric to patch over it, the jean retains a really natural drape once you're done with the repair. So you don't get a big kind of clunky repair that causes more tension on the fabric. You get something that lays really, really naturally.
That looks really good. It looks like it's just a little bit more warm in the area.
Absolutely. You can see where there was once a hole, it's now been kind of sealed shut.
One more question.
Absolutely.
What's the difference between the darning machine and a sewing machine you might have at home?
Yeah, fantastic question. So the thing that's really nice about darning machines, specifically commercial darning machines, is that they can handle much heavier fabrics than a home machine could. That's one thing that's really important, is denim is generally cut from heavier weight fabric, stuff that's a little bit heavier than just a shirting fabric you'd use at home to make a blouse or something on your home machines. So finally, these pants are as good as new. So remember, darning was how most jeans were repaired up until the 1960s, but there are times when darning may not be your best option. We'll show you how to patch in just a few minutes. Welcome back. Earlier we saw one way to fix your jeans, darning them, which may not be the best solution for everyone.
Yeah, that's where the back patch comes in, which I didn't think was cool anymore, but hey, this way it blends, the way it blends is artistry, right?
And denim guru Cameron Niederhauser shows us a whole new way to fix your holey jeans. How does this process work?
Yeah, so what we do here at the shop too is we do a lot of hemming on jeans as well, because a lot of the denim that we sell comes to just one standard length. So from there, when a customer buys a pair, we go ahead, chop off the bottom, give them a new hem, and then from there that leaves us with a lot of extra scraps. For folks who want a slightly different look than just darning their holes closed, a lot of times we'll do a patch for them that's kind of vintage inspired, something that's a little more patchwork, which is again another trend in denim that we've seen a lot. Even on this thing here, you can see we've got a patch that we've thrown in here just behind a guy's hole so that it gives, again, kind of a cool patched vintage look versus something that's a really clean darning repair. So
the thing that I admire most is you guys are upcycling denim, right? So
absolutely.
It was maybe too long, and now you're finding another creative way to repurpose. So we're seeing the back patch there.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to see this thing in motion now.
Totally. Say we're doing a back patch to give, again, kind of that different visual look. What we'll do is we'll take our scrap, we'll cut it down to size for the hole that we're gonna be working on. So for the one we're doing, it's just a couple inches wide, so I'll cut off a little bit of this additional fabric here. And then we'll take the fabric and put it behind just the guy we're working on. For this, we're gonna be working on just a knee hole here. So there you can see it just layered behind that hole there, kind of giving it again that cool look.
When do you actually recommend patch versus darning?
Specifically, the patching is when you've really worn down a fabric so that's really paper thin. So you've had a jean for 4, 5, 6 years. Sometimes that fabric is almost just too light for us to darn outright. So the easiest way for us to actually fix it is to put a patch behind it. So flip our machine on and then just go back and forth on this guy.
And then I noticed you're using gray. Is there a reason for that?
So gray thread is really nice because it blends in really well with lighter, really worn jeans, because some of those thread colors can be really tough to match. Gray is kind of the silver bullet to make those repairs look really good on lighter jeans. And that's what we do here is we end up repairing jeans that have been worn by folks for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, like you talked about. Once you've worn a pair of jeans that long, it becomes kind of more than just a pair of pants. It's something that's lived life with you to that point. So that's a cool thing to do when guys are looking for just a different look, kind of showing off the wear of their jeans versus erasing it.
Well, and those back patches, they really can make your jeans just feel a little bit more unique and custom. And hey, if you've gone through life with them to that point, I mean, you want to keep on living it with them. You know what, it reminds me of when I was a kid. I mean, we played hard outside all the time. And it seems like I would always rip my jeans. My mom would do the same thing, except it wasn't the backpack. She just threw the patch right in front of it, sew it, and then send us back outside playing. Yeah, I feel like the front patch is just so usable for parents when you've got kids that are like getting dirty and ripping holes all the time, but the back patch kind of gives it that extra character, and then you're like, I can really wear this like with confidence and feel like it's something new. What's old is new again, right? Yeah, absolutely. So a little bit later, we're gonna find out things that you may be doing without even realizing it that shorten the life of your denim. All right. Welcome back. So today we've been talking about denim repair, but what about making sure you never have a problem? Sewing guru Cameron Niederhauser explains how to care for your favorite pair just to make them last. So where are the most common places to find holes? Absolutely. So the most common places you're going to see blowouts in your fabric are going to be in the knee, because that's a really, really kind of tough flex point. The knee is a super common area to blow out. Another one that's really, really common nowadays is here in the front side of that pocket where you hold your iPhone. The hard edges on that phone are going to start breaking through the fabric eventually, so got an example there of that guy. And then the most common place by far is the crotch area of your jeans, where all 4 panels of the jean meet together. One that's tough if you've worn jeans for a long time to keep from blowing out just because of how much tension there is down in that area. That back pocket is another really common area, like putting a wallet there in the back pocket eventually. Anything you consistently put in a pocket on a daily basis is going to be a place you'll see a blowout. Okay, and then if we are somebody who's seeing this a lot, what are some things we can do? Totally. First things first, if you see a small hole start to form, like something you can see on these guys, bring them in the second you start to notice a hole developing the fabric, just so you can avoid it becoming a full-on blowout like something we see on these guys here. Secondly, the big thing that is common with these repairs is that they're done on jeans that have been washed really frequently and washed almost too frequently. So for us, one of our big denim care tips is to only wash jeans when they need to be. So a lot of people, myself included, have been guilty of growing up in a time where if you needed to fill up a load of laundry, you just tossed your jeans in to get them done, freshen them back up. What's the harm in that? For us, we recommend not doing it, only because when you throw your jeans in a wash cycle, typically you're breaking down that fabric quicker than it needs to be broken down. So only wash your jeans when they're dirty. And when they're dirty is different for a lot of people. For us, if there's no staleness, if they don't smell, if you can't sense that there's anything wrong smell-wise, or if you haven't spilled anything on them, generally speaking, you're okay to go for 4, 6, 8 weeks without washing. A lot of people will go longer if they only wear jeans, say, on the weekends. When you do wash jeans, the main thing we recommend is to turn them inside out. What you do there is you're actually kind of protecting the color of the dyes on the jean itself when you turn them inside out, and then to wash with cold water. Warm water will actually lift a lot of the indigo dye out of your jeans. So cold water kind of keeps that locked in, and then from there, after you've gone through that wash cycle, take them out, hang them to dry. The dryer is a really damaging place for a jean. Well, thank you so much. All those instructions were awesome. And now the only thing I've got to work on is, instead of calling them tears and holes, calling them blowouts. Well, Cameron's very clear that maintenance prevents needing a repair. So if you have a problem, take it to them right away so it doesn't get worse.